In the spotlight, this animal could be a mink. But was it a European mink, or just a marten? Before Aleš can find out, the animal has vanished into the night. This happens so frequently that it calls for a radical change in tactics. To study the delta's mink population, Aleš must first catch some. But this is almost impossible, at least in summer. The lakes are frozen. Life seems to have come to a standstill. But only at first glance. Migratory birds from the Arctic have arrived to spend the winter here. The cold is far less intense than above the Arctic Circle, and crucially, the birds are able to find enough food here. Whooper swans from northern Europe flock together in huge numbers. And when 60,000 red-breasted geese take off as one, the sky turns dark. Almost the entire world's population of red-breasted geese migrate every year from Siberia to here. Human beings are the rarest species in the Danube Delta. This is the least densely populated region in Europe. Tourists only come in spring and summer, and UNESCO has declared the entire area a biosphere reserve. For the few permanent human residents, winter is harvest time. Fish and reeds earn them a modest income. In winter, the fishermen are allowed large catches, but from spring onwards, a rigorous quota is strictly enforced to protect the breeding stocks. Humans are not the only ones to discover that reeds can be used in many different ways. For the harvest mouse, the reeds provide both nesting material and food. These tiny rodents are about 5 centimeters long and barely weigh 10 grams. But it's an ideal size when you have to move up, down, and across reed stalks all day long. Their tail is longer than their body, but it needs to be. As the mice move back and forth across the shaky and unstable stalks, they often need a safety rope. Sometimes the mouse even grabs the stalk with its tail and hangs head first. Cute as they may be, harvest mice have many predators. Birds of prey, foxes, snakes, even fish. And the shy and cryptic European minks also have them on their menu. Aleš Toman's search continues. In winter months, the mink must also hunt by day, and this makes it far easier to try and observe and even catch them. The biologists have changed their tactics. They now set live traps which won't harm the animals when caught. Every day the men put out about 50, leave them overnight, then check them the next morning. One trap's got something, but not what they want.
Ah, it's red only. Next time. Okay.
The men proceed to the next trap. Will they be any luckier? No. Another dud. Days and weeks pass by without success. Another day, another try. not many traps left to check now. Hopefully, no more rats.
Ah, Titi, come. Mink. Excellent. Titi, look, we have mink.
And then at last, a mink. Alish Toman has a broad smile all over his face. The captured mink probably isn't so happy. Since the 1950s, the European mink has been losing the battle to its far hardier American namesake. Added pressure from hunting and destruction of its habitat pushed the European mink to the brink of extinction. Now the last remaining populations live in Spain and the Baltic. But the Americans haven't conquered the Danube Delta yet. The mink is checked for health and condition, and loses a few hairs for genetic testing. It makes its displeasure very plain. Alish Toman is convinced the data he is gathering will prove that the only surviving healthy and stable population of the European mink is here, in the delta of the Danube. All in all, it was a good day. Alish found minks in another 3 traps. The sun is already low when the 2 researchers start heading for home. But the day is not quite finished yet. The delta turns on an amazing natural display. Millions of European starlings gather in huge flocks, forming ever-changing patterns in the evening sky.